Hey yogis, I'm Nicole from My Yoga Time. Welcome to today's yoga snack. This class is especially therapeutic if you are going through a stressful time. So the way that we feel is always reflected in the way that we breathe. And by changing the way that we breathe, we can very quickly hack our nervous system and influence the way that we're feeling. So today's class will be a little more mindful movement with the breath. So I won't be using any props for this class, but if you know that you're quite tight through the hips, or if you've had any concerns with your knees, do grab yourself a yoga block, or if you don't have one, either a really thick book or a pillow as well will be fine. So when you're ready, let's begin on all fours. We're going to come down into our puppy pose, so keep your hips up nice and high above those knees. A little different this morning, we're going to keep the elbows lifted and the palms, so it's just your fingertips pressing into the mat. And if you can, gently rest your forehead on the mat. Now, if the forehead doesn't meet the mat with ease, here you can always use your yoga block underneath your head. So let's gently press the fingertips into the mat and draw the shoulders back up towards the hips. Now, we're only here for a few breaths. I'd like you to inhale very slowly through the nose. And let's exhale through the mouth, hiring out the breath. Inhale, feel the in-breath expand the upper body. A moment to pause, hold the breath before hiring it out. One last one. Inhale slowly. And let's walk those hands back. Sitting in your child's pose now, rest the hands next to the feet, palms to face up, forehead resting on the mat once again, if not your block. You might even like to connect your index finger and thumbs here for Chin Mudra. And just begin to feel the breath in the back side of the body. As you inhale, feel the body rise and expand. Again, pause, hold the breath, and then exhaling very slowly through the nose, giving in to gravity. And when you're ready, start to lift on up, returning to your tabletop position. Let's have those hands underneath the shoulders, pinky fingers as wide as the mat if you can, and just turning the eyes of the elbows to face forward. Let's curl those toes under. Inhale into your back bend, exhaling to round the spine. Doing two more. And this last time that you round the spine, see if you can keep the spine rounded as you press into the hands and lift up into your downward facing dog. If you're feeling tight through the hamstrings, you might like to take a little bit of a walk out through the legs. And then when you're ready, grounding down through the left leg, inhale, right leg up. Option 1, keep the hips level or square and the leg straight. Option 2, lift up that right hip and bend the knee. So you want to point your knee up towards the ceiling. Looking under your right armpit and pressing into the pads of the fingers. Inhale. Straighten the legs, square the hips, and step through into your lunge. Pressing into both feet, let's come all the way up into our high lunge here. So you can keep a little bend in the back knee. Feet can be about hip width apart to help with your stability, and feel as though you're pressing the feet away from one another to stretch the mat. We're going to move the arms with the breath. So cactus arms as you inhale, squeeze the shoulder blades back onto the spine. And as you exhale, round the spine, look down towards your belly button. Inhale to open, exhale to round. Let's do our last one. This time as you inhale the arms out, let's straighten the arms, connect index finger and thumbs, roll the wrists, roll the shoulders forward and down. Try and move the elbows back a little. Then release the mudra, interlace the fingers behind you. Inhale to lift the heart. And then we'll transition into warrior three, or variation of. Tilt the body forward. If you need, a few baby steps in with that back foot before lifting up. So flexing your left foot, try to lift through the inner thigh and draw your lower belly in. Knuckles reaching towards the heel. Our balance poses are especially helpful when we have a busy mind. And on those days, we might find our balance is a little more challenged, and that's okay. Let's come all the way up, hands to prayer. If your hips and knees allow, one-legged chair, take your left ankle to your right knee. If that's not an option for you, both feet to the floor instead. So the more you sit down, the deeper you'll feel it in the outer hip. Option one, yogis, is to stay here. If you've got a fair amount of range of motion through your hips and your back and hamstrings, you might like to fold forward, fingertips to the floor or to the block if you have it close by. Breathing into the outer hip. And let's inhale to come back up, lifting up that left knee and lower down. Well done, yogis. Inhale, arms up in front. Exhale, forward fold. Sweep the arms past the body, fingertips up towards the ceiling. Your next inhale, come halfway up, bring the arms with you, squeeze the heels in, strong in the back and in the core. And this time when we fold, hara out the breath. Arms up again. Inhale, halfway up. Sweep the arms past the body, fingertips to the ceiling. Last one. Let's lower hands to the floor. Step back into your downward facing dog. Gently pressing your chest towards your thighs. Left leg up. Option one, staying there. Option two, pointing the knee up towards the ceiling, looking under your armpit. And you want to feel as though you're kicking something away here. So you're quite active through those hip flexors. Let's straighten the legs, square the hips, step it through for your lunge, and inhale the arms up. Bending in the front knee, little bend in the back knee is welcome as well. Let's inhale, cactus arms. Exhale to round the spine, looking down. Last one. Arms out to the side. Take your mudra once again. Roll your wrists, roll your shoulders. Little nerve tensioning there. And relax those hands down. Interlace the fingers. Little back bend as you inhale. Warrior three as you exhale. Let's lift up for your chair pose, your one-legged chair. So if you're staying in this upright balance position, press the palms together and draw the shoulders down. You want to feel a little tone through the armpits and shoulders. Otherwise, folding forward, if you did on the other side. And let's return. Lower down. Same as before. Inhale, arms up. Forward fold, sweep the arms past the body. Half lift. Arms coming up, thumbs point to the ceiling. Haring out the breath. Two more. Inhale halfway. Sweeping arms past the body, fingertips to the ceiling. Last one. Well done. Lower hands to the mat. Step it back into your last downward facing dog. And let's lower those knees to the mat. Well done, yogis. So if you're tight through your hips or you have any concerns with your knees, come into a seated position for me. And in that seated position, I want you to cross your right leg in front of your left and have your feet underneath your knees. So you're crossed at the calves, not at the ankles. You need to take those feet a little bit wider. Option 2. I'd like you to cross your left leg behind your right, so you're pushing your left knee into the back of the right knee. Take the feet a little bit wider and you'll walk the hands back and take a seat. So either variation, you can be sitting on the block, especially if your knees are up quite high. It's a sign that your hips are tight and you probably feel better on the block. So no matter what's happening with your legs, which position you're in, let's keep the feet flexed and gently press the feet down into the mat. So a little twist here. You can take your left hand to the back of the right knee, right hand behind you. As you inhale, feel the in-breath descend, the navel expand. Pause before you exhale slowly, drawing the navel in. Returning to the front. A little side bend here. Take your right hand down to the mat. Try and press the palm down and slide it away. If the floor seems a little too far, you can always use your block. Left arm up. Let's inhale. And exhale, leaning over. Inhale back to center. Exhale to lean over. Coming back up for the last time. And this time we'll stay over. Feel free to look down. Maintain that tractioning through the right palm. Inhale to come up. Well done, yogis. Either staying upright or walking those hands in front, allowing the back to round. Keep the fingertips on the floor, palms are lifted. Press into those fingertips. So inhaling to come up, we'll release the cross of the legs. Lean back if you can and pick up both feet for your boat pose, Navasana. And changing sides, so either left leg crossing in front of the right now, feet underneath the knees, or stack the left knee on top of the right for your Gomukhasana legs, cow face legs. Little twist to begin with, right hand to the outside of the left knee. Gently deepen your twist by deepening the breath. Return to center. Prepare for your side bend. As you exhale, lean over to the left. And then inhale back to center. Staying down now for this third and final time, looking down. Taking the breath into the side body. And inhale to come up. Option to stay upright or fold forward if your body allows. Rounding the back. And inhale to come all the way up. Same as before, we'll lean back for your last boat pose, picking up the feet, option to take your mudra. Or final variation, if you can comfortably reach, you can pistol grip your big toes and straighten the legs. And let's bend those knees, lower the feet to the floor. So keep the soles of the feet flat on the floor, keep a bend in the knees. On your inhalation, bring the arms out to the side. And as you exhale, round the back and lower down just a little. Inhale. Exhale. Each time you exhale, see if you can lower down just a little bit further. And your last one, this time we're going to come down very slowly all the way onto your back. When you've come all the way down, feel free to take the arms above the head, point the toes, have a good stretch. If it's comfortable for you, you can leave your arms above the head, maybe hold opposite elbows with the hands, and we'll bend the knees and bring the feet together for your butterfly pose. Now we're only here for a couple of breaths. As you inhale, allow the navel to rise. Breathe down into the hips and thighs. Take a moment to pause, and then exhaling very slowly. Relaxing the back, the hips and thighs. When we witness the breath, the volume on your mind chatter, those busy thoughts, it turns down. Feel free to bring those knees together. Lowering the legs down for Shavasana, bringing the arms down by your side. Tuck the shoulders under. You might like to take Chin Mudra once again, index finger and thumbs to connect. Allow the forehead to soften as the eyes roll back. Tongue and jaw relax. Inhaling peace into your spacious body. Exhale, release. Inhaling peace. Exhale, release. Let's begin to wiggle those toes and fingers. Follow any urges to move or stretch. And when you're ready, rolling to your preferred side into the fetal position. You might like to stay in the fetal position for a few more breaths for that nice moment in between moments. I hope that you enjoyed that short and sweet practice, yogis, that you found more space in the body, clarity in the mind. Please do remember on those stressful days that the quickest way to hack the nervous system and soothe the mind is through your mindful breathing. If you enjoyed the class, please do subscribe to the channel. It's the best way to support free yoga on YouTube. Look forward to seeing you next time. Have a lovely day.